is the next game that Codemasters is presenting. We're doing that, or we're doing with Codemasters. So Jumpgate is a massive multiplayer space combat game. We're really trying to focus on the space action side of gameplay as opposed to sort of, slower paced kind of games. Really trying to make it fun and intuitive. I think a lot of MMOs aren't focusing enough on fun right now, so we really want to bring that to the forefront, but still keep the game really beautiful looking. Like, I'm a huge advocate of making space very pretty instead of sort of dark and empty and boring. And then bring sort of the long-term MMO features into a space action game. So I'll kind of try to burn through this because I know that as exciting as PowerPoints are, you really want to see pictures and video. So it really is all about gameplay. You're the pilot in this game, so we really want to bring back, the old fun space games, Wing Commander, X-Wing, Free Space, games like that. Like, we played those when we were younger, and so now we want to bring that back. And then, of course, layer the other on top. Trying to support as much hardware as we can. When you go downstairs and play joystick, mouse, and keyboard, I encourage you to play both, kind of feel the difference. Because it's kind of a big deal to allow people to experience the game in the way they want to play it. So we spend a lot of time on those kinds of things. We even support that cool Logitech keyboard with the display on it. And we're working with companies like Tracker for like head tracking. It's real fun. Next thing, so the core of the game is combat. Like I said, the combat is fast-paced. We have a huge huge range of weapons, lasers, missiles, machine guns, plasma weapons, all that kind of stuff. I've talked extensively in interviews and stuff about PvP and PvE. It's questions that always come up, so I won't bore you with all those details here. But we basically treat it as two different kinds of games, and both of those gamers are important, so we want to make sure that we have a lot for both of those groups of people to do. A big part of it is ship-on-ship combat. Kind of our approach to combat is, watch a cool movie, see a cool space scene, try and reenact it. Whether that's a 10-on-10 battle with spaceships, or taking out like a huge battle station. Like, everybody wants to attack those huge stations and see them explode. And big explosions are really cool, so we want to have a lot of that kind of stuff in the game. I'm a huge fan of advancement. I think that's a core feature in MMOs. So you need to have sort of the RPG-ish elements. So obviously there's missions in the game, tons of equipment. You level up through it, which is a traditional sort of MMO thing. Lots of ships and classes. So classes are a little bit different. You don't choose to be a miner or a fighter. You really want to be able to do all those things. So it's really sort of about the kind of ship that you pick. And we expect that in your gaming experience, you're going to own many, many different types of ships and kind of explore all those different areas. And then you'll find what you kind of enjoy doing, and hopefully you enjoy doing lots of different stuff. Lots of different types of equipment, weapons, shields, power guns, radars, all that kind of stuff. Space loot. I know that space loot doesn't make sense, but it's really fun, so we put it in. So lots of loot drops. You can get mission rewards, you can get faction rewards. This is all the kind of sort of simultaneous progress that you really want in the game. Medals and titles. I'm really excited about licensing. It's kind of a way to sort of, so for example, you get a mining license, then you go out and mine for a while, then you get a better mining license, and so on. So you can really slice that into all the different parts of the game. So you're really advancing in lots of different ways all the time. I always hate it when I feel like, oh gosh, 6 hours to get that next thing. It's always fun when it's like 15 minutes away. So we're really trying to break the game into chunks like that. Something we're really working on and excited about is dynamic mission generation. And this isn't sort of like kill 8 guys, now kill 10 guys. It's sort of more like using the state of the game to sort of generate missions strung together. I mean, the thing I always say is it's sort of like a choose your own adventure more than anything else. And so you have sort of like all these different scenarios that exist, and then you tie them together based on what's happening. Hello? Yeah. You tie them together based on what's happening in the world, and then you can respond to it. So it's an area that we're really investigating a lot. It's just, there's this stuff going on, there's lots of AI in the game that's interacting based on its rule sets, and then maybe you can interact with it too. And I'm really excited about where we can take that. Player-driven economy, I'm huge on that. So basically, you sort of have the triumvirate of mining, refining, and manufacturing, which is the same in almost every MMO. Resource gathering, turning the resources into something else, turning those things into something else. And then we're really, really eager to make sure that there's lots of dependencies. So that's what makes it really cool, right? Like, you need this thing that I make, and I need this thing that you make, and then, hey, we have this auction house in order to trade back and forth. And keep creating that vivid, living economy really builds the game, long-term game for fun. And so obviously we need auction houses and mail. I won't go into details because you guys know how that stuff works. Exploration, also a huge factor. So again, spaces, you'll see in a second here, it's very vivid, it's very diverse. There's lots of different looking areas. You're not going to be flying through hundreds of hours of black, empty, boring nothingness in order to get to the next interesting thing. You really want to make sure there's lots of cool stuff to look at all the time. So I'm just going to kind of go through some screenshots here. This is a concept art piece, actually. This is important just because it all kind of starts with this, right? Like you want to have this shot that kind of grabs people and gives you an idea of scale, so you can see all the little ships in the background, all these little ones here. This is a huge space station, kind of menacing looking, really trying to get a sense of the game. That's actually a piece of concept art for the complex that will play a major role in the game as the kind of core enemy. This is a screenshot of Octavius core, which is one of the major 3 nations, and there's just a bunch of freighters flying around there. That's a docking tube, so you can kind of see the difference in scale. That's actually a pretty big ship in the game, and it's docking with the station planet in the background there. That's a fighter that's kind of just doing an interesting little formation move. Another shot of the station. This is what I was talking about with AI. So these are all AI-controlled sort of cargo haulers out here, and they're actually moving stuff around in space. Same with those guys. This is just see something different. This is Quantar core. They actually built their base into this asteroid here. There's some kind of cargo hauler there, and you see all those tons of asteroids back there. And so again, bright colored space. Try to make it look really pretty and interesting. It's a Quantar fighter. Sorry, I'll try to get out of the way here. Maybe it's hard to see from the other stuff. That's more of a close-up. Another Quantar ship docking. This is actually inside the Jumpgate. You can see more of this downstairs, of course, but we try to make it look kind of like this cool underwater effect. I'm huge on cool little effects. They really go a long way. Something I forgot to mention is that we also made our spec really low. Like the game runs on 512 megs of RAM. It doesn't even need a pixel shader card. Obviously, you get benefits out of having them, but I'm a huge fan of not forcing users to spend $5,000 to play your game. They're already spending enough. So we really want to make sure we get as many players as possible. That's another cargo hauler, Solrain cargo hauler. That's actually there's this sort of mysterious race of pirates called, and this is their station, it's called Hyperion. And so they'll play a big part in the game too. So I'm excited about that kind of stuff. This is an Amazon station. Kind of an older school looking station. I really like it a lot. Again, in the interviews and stuff, I can show you guys this stuff more if you want, or when you're downstairs, you can take a look around. Now we're going to show video here, so I'll roll that and kind of get out of the way so you can see it. What's to come. I'm sure we'll have more of that kind of stuff in the future. Let's see. There we go. So we're really excited to review the game here, so I encourage you to go down, play a little bit, ask us questions. There's some staff down there. I guess I'm doing lots of interviews today, so I'll probably see most of you in there. It's really exciting to work with Codemasters. They're really great. They really know how to make and operate MMOs. It's not something that's very easy to do, so we're really glad to have their assistance in that. So just thanks for coming, and I hope you have a great time, and I'll hand it back over to David if he's ready.